Hi, it's Gwen from Hummingbird Tarot. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you get notice every week when I post a new video. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I first discovered my spirit guides and how I use them to help protect me and to help me in tarot readings and in other parts of my daily life. I'm very grateful for the help of my spirit guides because I have a lot more peace in my life because I know that they're here helping to protect me and my space. I'd heard about spirit guides and I didn't really know what they were. And many years ago, I had a friend of mine. She's a friend now, but at the time she was an acquaintance, a friend of a friend, and we didn't know each other very well. But I found out that she was a medium and communicated directly with ghosts and spirits. And we were sharing stories and talking back and forth. And one of the things I asked her was, what is it with the dwarfs? Every night when I go to sleep, just as I'm falling asleep, they walk into my bedroom. I can kind of sense my bedroom door opening and they walk into the room and I don't feel threatened by them at all. I just get a little annoyed and they're just kind of walking around, kind of looking around. They're not really doing anything. And I asked her, I said, what is that? And her response to me was that those are your spirit guides. And they're walking around like that because they don't know what to do. They don't know what you want them to do. You need to give them something to do. And I thought, what? That was my aha moment with my spirit guides. And then I saw a picture a few years ago about the dwarves from the Grimm fairy tale, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, kind of these old gnarly looking creatures that looked a little more like gnomes. And I realized that those are what my spirit guides look like. And they must have been around since I was a child and been exposed to that fairy tale. And as a child, that's the identity that I gave to my spirit guides. So we call them my minions now. So one of the things that I started doing, this was when I came to the realization that that's what that was and those were my spirit guides, I was having a lot of paranormal activity happening in my house. And I would picture a clear white bubble around me and my house, almost like I was in a snow globe. And then I'd picture swirling up the snow as this white energy, and it would push everything out of any negative energy out of the house until the house was just full of white light. And that was one of the practices that I did for myself every day before going to sleep to help me feel safe going to sleep, that something wasn't going to disturb me when I was sleeping. Also, it was one of the ways I kind of made this protective bubble around myself when I was doing readings for other people so that I didn't pick up on their energy. I would mentally, in my mind, every night before I went to sleep, go to each window and door in the house and make sure that I would manually push. I wouldn't walk to them, but I would imagine myself in my mind, okay, I'm going to the front door here, and then the window that's in the front room. And I would just kind of wall off with white light the front door and then the window. And I'd go to every single window and door in the house. And it took me a while. And sometimes I would fall asleep before doing that. And then I'd wake up and think, oh, I forgot to close off all the windows and doors, and I hope nothing got in through the light. So it was kind of a little bit of an anxiety that I had once who I consider a friend now, this friend said to me that you need to give them something to do. And now that I know this, I'm sharing this with you because you could create whatever it is that you want to imagine as a spirit guide for you. If it's just one or if it's many, you can create those in your imagination and just picture them going through and doing whatever spiritual task you want them to do. So what I started doing is every night I would walk through the house and I was doing training. I would train my minions. Okay, you're going to go to this window and do this. And there was a bunch of them. So I would train, a different one for different windows and doors or whatever in the house. And it was their job every night before I went to sleep to go ahead and protect those, add that white energy to those doors and those windows. Every night before I went to sleep, I would say, okay, go for it. Go do your thing. And I could go to sleep in the knowledge, knowing that the house was protected with white light and white energy. I didn't have to worry about falling asleep before completing that task myself every night. And then I eventually got to the point where, okay, it feels like there's another energy here. And so I brought in another energy to manage my minions so that I didn't even have to, what if I forget to tell them, go do your thing every night? So I just created this new energy in my intuition that was going to be managing all of them. And their task was to, every night before I went to sleep, it was their job to make sure that all of the minions were going out and doing everything that I wanted them to do to lock the house down for the night. And that they would just automatically take care of that every night. And I don't even think about that anymore. So and then every time before I'm about to do a reading or before somebody's coming over for that in my space, that's their job. They go out and they make sure the space is full of white light. And as someone enters my snow globe, all negative energy that is with them stays outside the snow globe. So they enter in, the positive light and the positive energy is what comes in. And then if there's anything negative that they came with, that gets cleansed from them before they come into the space with me. And then I got to the point where that space, I used to feel like if I was going somewhere, I'd create another snow globe or whatever, that energy around that space in my mind before I went there, especially if it was someplace that I'd been before. And I'd create something with white light in my mind so that when I arrived, I'd be safe in that space. And then I got to the point where I just told my spirit guides, I'm going to have that bubble around me, my snow globe, everywhere I go. And you're going to worry about making sure that it's energized and charged, and everywhere I go, I'm just going to take it with me. And I'm going to have those places where I spend a lot of time, they're going to have their own protection, and I'm going to bring my protection with me as well. So that's one of the ways that I use my spirit guides to help protect me and protect the space energetically that I'm in. I hope this video was helpful to you. I know it may seem a little woo for people who haven't used spirit guides yet. You can create your own spirit guides, and I've added new ones as I've needed to for tasks that I felt weren't getting taken care of and I didn't have the space energetically to manage myself on a daily basis. I would create a spirit guide to manifest that and manage that for me so that I didn't have to do that. And I also make sure that when I'm doing that, I'm creating it with love and gratitude. Do you use spirit guides? How did you find your spirit guides? Comment below and share, because I'm really interested. Or if you're feeling so inspired, film a video response and let us all know, what do you do with your spirit guides? Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.